From the 4th to the 7th of August 2025, I'll be hosting the You Can Become Summit. If you want to have all the information, of course, there will be a link in the description. And I asked all my speakers, all these amazing experts, one question. And this question was, what is your number one tip to stay focused and pursue your own goals? And these are their answers. So, my next question is, what is your number one tip to stay focused and to pursue your own goal?
My number one tip for staying focused and pursuing your goals and becoming the best version of yourself that you can be is about prioritizing. I think that's got to be the number one because I and many other people I know uh, start adding to the to-do list. So much so that you literally cannot get everything done. And when you don't finish off everything the to list, you feel like a failure, like you haven't done it enough. And that is actually a huge problem on creatives is not feeling, I gotta go do, I gotta go produce, I have to work, work, work and make things happen for myself. And especially as an actor or storyteller of any kind, that really impacts that negativity just holds you back creatively. It doesn't allow any creative freedom. You just start feeling more and more boxed in by the to-do list. So finding that grounding and that center first, and with that clarity of sitting and knowing who you are, being realistic about where your energy needs to go right now. What are my priorities? And never let them exceed really more than three things at any given time. And I'm not talking about like laundry. I mean, like, am I working on my acting show reel? Am I working on finishing this script? Am I working on getting this promotion in my W-2 job because that higher financial status will allow me to have more freedom to write the script, to do the thing? It's going to fluctuate and depend. And I like to use a garden metaphor, especially for myself. Maybe it will help other people, but I have different areas that I have planted seeds in my garden. And no matter what part of the garden I am watering that day, it contributes to the whole garden. So I'm watering that acting plant, that acting seed that's flowering and blooming, literally blooming. And that water is also helping everything else to grow and to bloom in abundance. So prioritize and know that no matter how narrow that priority might be or how little energy you have to give to that priority on any particular day, any progress is good progress.
What's your number one tip to stay focused and to pursue your own goals?
That's a really, really good question because yesterday my clients, we always get a group call in the program and they had a question about Miriam, I've got that idea. I want to set up a mini program and another mini program and another mini program. First, plan your day by what is the direct income? And second, ask yourself always, I got that idea. Is it coming from that, oh no, I've got to make my income? Or is it coming from from your heart, which says, I want to do this, I want to bring this out, this is so great. Um, because all the ideas you've got, because you've got fear, will not work. Yeah. Long
Yes,
answer.
it's never a good idea to do something or to realize something out of fear or out of a lack mindset. What is your number one tip to stay focused and pursue your own goals?
My number one tip is to make time for yourself, even if it is 5 minutes to just check in with yourself and see how you're doing and be fully present. Some of us might not notice that maybe while we're sitting down, but we're not quite there. Or we are cooking, but we're tense like this. We're clenching our jaw. So just really, really, really sit, really pay attention to yourself. Just take 5 minutes to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're doing. It's a really beautiful skill. One that I like is called tracking. So tracking is really, kind of like scanning your body and looking at the different parts of yourself and actually having a conversation like, how am I doing today? How's my headspace? How's my heart? What am I carrying that's not mine? Or maybe something that I'm thinking about in the future that is not mine right now, but I'm for some reason worrying about. Checking in with yourself, tracking really helps. So that's a skill that I recommend folks.
What is your number one tip to stay focused and pursue their own goals?
Focus on yourself. Yeah, focus on yourself. So a lot of times people will think when people achieve goals and they get their life together that they're finished. And that's just not the case. Like for an example, the first of this year, I kind of started poo-pooing on myself. I started thinking that I was not good enough, that I didn't have things figured out well enough, that felt like I was trying to get validation from the outside world. And honestly, I had to sit with it for several months. Like, I had to face some dark sides that I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I having to think about this and face this? But I do believe if you don't work through it, you will store it. So I gave myself the time, I worked through it, and I found that the answer was right under my nose. I had started not taking care of me. I had started not drinking the water that I'm used to drinking. I had gotten slack with my supplements like my vitamin D and the things I take in the morning. And I was starting to just it started compounding. I started not feeling the best in my body. So I would say work on yourself.
And I'm sure that you've got for us one or your number one tip to stay focused and to really pursue the own goals.
I think practicing yoga every day has been helping me a lot, basically. Yeah, I
So
think
give it a
that's
try.
yeah. Yeah, it's just I think yoga has been the door which opened this universe of tools. But yeah, I think that when I don't practice, it's not the same day. Like it's really nice to start my days like moving my body and connecting to it, and if possible, connecting through a breath work. Or I also do meditation in the mornings and journaling. So I think those three are my top three. Sometimes I do also tappings and but basically I think yoga was my starter pack, and that's what I've been clinging to continue on this journey.
All right, we already shared some tips and tricks, but let's get back to it. What is your number one tip to stay focused and pursue their own goals?
For me, it's breath work. And I don't know if that sounds corny or trite, but breath work, because I have had a tough year. I think a lot of people are still recovering from what we had to go through with the pandemic, political change, unrest in the world, family members come and go. Breathing is everything for me because it brings me back to my center. I'm in grieving, so I cry every day, and that's okay. But I know I can come back to my breath. And when I do that, I can feel cleansed and I can move on from that place where I felt so bad, even for that moment. Same thing when I get distracted. As I say, my husband's coming in or out, or the phone's ringing, or, oh gosh, maybe the number one tip is turn off notifications on your phone because that'll drive me crazy. Just a little distractions. So, again, the breath, come back. Where was I? What was I doing? Things that don't go as you planned, that can happen any day. The breath. So I found the breath keeps me centered It gets me back on track. When I'm setting things happen, when you're bored, even when you need to take a break, a good breath.
All right, so this was what you are doing for yourselves, and now we want to give some tips for the audience. So what is your number one tip, or maybe you both have one, your number one tips to stay focused and to pursue the own goals?
I wanted to say something important that I found during the last years is that you need to be brave and you need to be constant in what you do. And of course, in the way that you take, enjoy what are you doing. And I think with that three tips, all the things that you are going to affront are going to be sometimes maybe not more easy because this work sometimes is a little bit hard, no? But you are going to enjoy and you are going to see the results and you are going to be happy with that. And of course, all the things that are around you, you are going to enjoy a lot more. You are going to be smiling and the people are going to see that and they are going to feel the energy that you have and it's going to be all a little bit more easy. And if you follow this line, it's going to be really grateful.
Yeah, I really love that aspect that we enjoy our journey and have fun and not getting stuck or just focused on the goal. I think this is the most mistake I also did in the past, that I just was focusing at the goal, but I didn't enjoy the journey to the goal, you know? So this is my absolutely the best tip I can give you, because one of my mentors said, what is meaning focus? Focus means actually follow one course until success. And this is so great because, of course, we want to do and we want to have all right now here, like the instant gratification. And when we can't get it, like the child wants to have now the ice cream, it's screaming, you know? But we are human and we need to create also the fun in this journey and to combine it again, and not just looking always at the time, oh, when I get this goal. Enjoy your journey, not getting stuck and focused always on at the time.
What is your number one tip to stay focused and to pursue the own goals?
So I mentioned earlier about kind of working with my client to write out a perfect day. And I think that this is something that's fairly simple to do. I'm not going to say easy. It's fairly simple to do, is, for all of us to kind of write out what would my perfect day feel like? And then take time to kind of pause and allow those sensations in the body in that moment. And to realize that, these perfect days, everything doesn't have to go exactly right. It's just perfect in the way that we picture it, right? Or we see it. And so we're allowing that sensation to arrive no matter what is happening to us. And so I think that would be my number one tip, is just kind of taking time to pause, tune in. Where do I want to be? And then where am I right now? Okay, can I invite where I want to be right now? And there might not actually be that much of a difference. And there might be a lot of difference there, but just kind of saying, hey, like, I can invite what I want to invite into my life, and I don't have to stick in the cycles of, these negative cycles that most of us stay in. And just taking that little time to break them, even just for a moment, can be really.
You already mentioned to stay focused, and that's actually my next question. What is your number one tip to stay focused and to pursue your own goals?
Yeah.
again, really take your time and find out more about your values, your passions, your talents, to really find out what you're here for. If you're following some other goals in life, some other shiny objects that are not yours, you will not be focused. You will not be able to pursue your happiness or anything in your life. It's so important. As I said before, our brain just works differently. We cannot fake motivation. We cannot fake interest. So we don't have any problems concentrating or staying focused, from what everybody else says about ADHD. We just need to find the right thing. And then we're just, as I said before, we are unstoppable, because then the beautiful talent of hyper focus is that we can just really dive into and learn everything there is to learn about it, and we embrace it and we just love it, and then we become really, really experts, and then everything gets more light and it's just fun to do our job.
We're already talking about great tools. So what is your number one tip to stay focused and to pursue your own goals?
Setting the intention, setting a intention. That's the greatest thing. Set the intention, set a intention, however you want to do it. When I began this journey, I was a wild ass, if I may say. I was just kind of out there just doing it, everything. I had ADHD in the spirit. I was over here doing the chakras. I was doing the crystals. I was doing Reiki, and none of it seemed to fit together because I had never set the intention of what all of these tools were going to do for me. So once I sat down and set the intention of what they were going to do for me, now my energy is aligned and I'm able to overcome so many things in peace, in joy, and in happiness, because I'm more mindful of my practice and the intentions that I have set. So I would say first, setting the intention, setting a intention, an intention, so that you can properly overcome those things that no longer serve you, but also be mindful of the practices, which are my yoga, my meditation, and my mindfulness, along with my intention.